If you work for a large company, you likely already have some kind of long-term disability insurance, but do you know how it works? Brenda Hollingsworth from Auger Hollingsworth is here to break it down. Hi, Brenda.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well, thanks. So when does long-term disability insurance come into play?
Well, if you have been injured or you have an illness, that means that you can't work and you've either purchased long-term disability insurance yourself or your company offers it as part of your benefits, or if you work for the federal government, certainly you have it, then it may kick in. Sometimes there's a waiting period. Sometimes you have short-term disability first, but typically sort of 4 or 5 months without working, you can apply for long-term disability.
How is that working now in this age of COVID? Are there a lot of people that, because of perhaps lingering effects of COVID, finding themselves on long-term disability?
Right. So it's early because there is usually a waiting period, but I expect we're going to start to see that people who have the long-term impacts of COVID, respiratory problems, that kind of thing, are going to start to apply and get feedback on their long-term disability applications. So that's coming.
How is someone paid on long-term disability?
So it's an insurance company. So instead of your employer paying, typically an insurance company will come in and pay a portion of your salary. It's typically not 100%. A lot of policies are 67%. I've seen as high as 80%. That's typically the range, and it's paid by an insurance company.
How do you know if you need to contact a lawyer to help you with long-term insurance?
Yeah, so typically people apply on their own with the help of their family doctor. If you get a denial, it's very good idea to see a lawyer as soon as possible because there are deadlines, and some of those deadlines are in your contract and some of them are in the law. So if you get a denial, or if you're on long-term disability and you've been told they're going to cut you off or they do cut you off, that's another time to see a lawyer.
Are these disputes you see often?
Yes, they're probably 25% of our practice at Auger Hollingsworth is helping people who have either been denied or have been cut off long-term disability. Typically, it's not that difficult to reinstate or to get the insurance going. Normally, what has happened is that the claimant's doctor maybe didn't fill out the form as completely as they need. And so that's something that we're able to give guidance. Sometimes they need an expert report, and we're able to help with that. We do sometimes have to initiate lawsuits, but we have a pretty good track record with long-term disability denials.
Bottom line, what's the one takeaway you want our viewers to remember today when it comes to long-term disability insurance?
Yeah, so if you're applying for long-term disability or your doctor's filling out a form, read the form before your doctor sends it in and make sure it actually explains why you can't work. If it's just a list of diagnoses and it doesn't explain why you can't work, you're probably going to get denied.
Yeah, you got to be specific on that. All
exactly.
right. Brenda, as always, appreciate your expertise. Thank you.
Thank you.